And we are about to go live in 3, 2.
So the big question is this: how do voiceover artists like us who are looking to take our careers to the next level, but don't buy into the claims of needing expensive equipment and demos, start bringing in new clients? How do you follow a clear path to changing your voiceover side hustle into your full-time job and stick it to those that said you couldn't? Those are the questions, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Earl Hall, and welcome to In the Booth with Earl Hall, where we know how to grind and don't quit.
And welcome in, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. On today, we're going to have an outstanding show. You are tuned into In the Booth with Earl Hall, where we show the brand new, the up-and-coming voiceover artist how to start, build, and grow a successful voiceover business. That's what we're all about here. I want to make sure that everyone that's tuned in, if you're in right now, go ahead and type something in chat. Let me know that you're here. Would love to communicate with you and just say hey. So wherever you are tuned in from in the world, just let me know that and we can say hey to one another. But today we're going to be talking about your voiceover website. It's one of those things that I see so many different people in the voiceover industry, voiceover artists, are extremely confused about in regards to what needs to be on the website and things of that nature. So what I want to do today, and I'm looking at some of the things coming through here on my feed. That's why I'm looking down at my mobile device right now. But what I want to go through today are some of the things that I think are very, very important for you to know as a voiceover artist in regards to your website, maybe how to set it up, some website templates, things of that nature. But more importantly, what is on your website? That's the key thing that I want us to focus on today, is what's on your website and maybe how to arrange it a little bit to make it appealing to someone that's coming to your site. Now, all that being said, hey, what's up, Michael? Seattle, how you doing, buddy? What's so extremely important on your site is that you have to remember a few key things when it comes to what you want to put on your website. Your website is your calling card for your potential clients in the voiceover industry. It is the thing that they're going to see. What's up, Anthony? Anthony Pica's on Periscope. All right. Got someone in on Periscope here. Your website is your calling card. It's the thing that's first presented to your potential clients. So what needs to be on it? The main thing I want to get across with this is that you don't want to be too fancy. You don't want to be too fancy in regards to putting a lot of different things on your website. And I want you to consider this. What do people, or what's the reason that people are coming to your website? And who are those people that are coming to your website? What do they want to see? When someone comes to your website, it's a potential client, and they're there for one reason. They're there to find out and listen. They're there to listen to your demo to see if they want to use your voice for their audio production. That's the only reason that they're there. When you keep that in mind and keep that as your focus, there's a couple of things that you definitely want to do on your website. The first thing is you want as high in your website as possible, maybe under your logo or whatever, and your logos and stuff at the top shouldn't be too big. You do not want your potential client to have to scroll to listen to your demo, because that is the only reason that they're there. They're not there to check out your site in regards to how pretty it is or how many different links you have on your website. They're there for one particular reason, and they're there to hear your demo. So that should be pretty much at the top of your website, unless you have an introduction video or something like that that's explaining your services that is in your voice as well. But for all intents and purposes, the simpler you go, the better. Especially for an individual voiceover artist that's out there. The simpler that you go, the better. Now, your demo, you don't want to have, and this is, I think this is pretty important with this as well. With a demo, I wouldn't suggest using something like a SoundCloud. I wouldn't suggest using something like a SoundCloud for your demo. Here's the reason why. And let me tag on this other stuff as well. You don't want to have on your website a bunch of different social media links, like your Twitter, your Facebook. It's not important. It's not necessary. And I'm going to go into explaining why, which is the same reason that I'm suggesting you not use something like a SoundCloud. When these potential clients come to your website, once again, you want to keep them there. So if you're using something like a SoundCloud, what you're doing is giving the potential for them to go off of your website. You're giving that potential that's there. And from what I've seen, especially with folks that are using SoundCloud, is that when you press play, sometimes it's not very user-friendly. It's not very intuitive. It's just you press play and then something else pops up within that little rectangular bar that they're listening to. So what I suggest with that is that you upload your demo directly to your website and have a player on your website that only is on your website. Now, there's a couple of different ways you can do that. One of the things that I suggest, and the only reason I suggest it, I don't think this is a mandatory thing, but I use WordPress as the backbone for my website and development. And you can check out my website. It's at earlhallstudio.com. earlhallstudio.com. Now, when you go there, first of all, I operate as a voiceover talent agency. So my website is going to be a little bit different, but pretty much follow the same type of rules that I'm telling you here right now. So I'll go a little bit deeper into that. Now, some of you may be sitting back like, what? You're telling me not to put on social media links? I'll get into that. All right. Now, if you upload your audio file, your demo or demos, to your website directly, it keeps people right there and it keeps them engaged. There's not a potential for them to leave your site and go somewhere else. That's key and that's important. You can use a service from Amazon S3. A lot of times when I do videos or something like that, I'll upload my videos to Amazon S3 server and I'll basically, in the programming on my website, link everything to there. But at Earl Hall Studio, basically the demos that you see from myself and the other voiceover artists that are there are actually uploaded directly to the site. They're on my site domain. They're on that server. And so it makes it load a little bit quicker and all that other kind of stuff. So it streams a lot better. Now, when you use Amazon S3, and you can look that up, if you Google Amazon S3, it's a super cheap. I can't even explain to you how cheap it is. How you doing, Regina? I can't even explain to you how cheap Amazon S3 is. So I would suggest you Google that. You can upload videos. You can upload, audio files, documents, whatever. And I use that service because it's just so easy to do. And to create links and all that other kind of stuff. And when you have your videos up there, the streaming is pretty good with all of that, and audio files work really well. Now, I have not used Amazon S3 for audio. I normally use it for video because those files are so large, especially with some of the longer videos that I produce. I use Amazon S3. Now, having your backbone as a WordPress site, first of all, there's one thing you want to make sure that you do. You do not want to have a free site. Offer go and get like something from a Wix that's free. So it's like www.wix.whatever your name or company name is or whatever that you're coming up with. When you're developing a voiceover website, there's an image and there's a certain air that you want to have. And if you do not own your own domain, it says something to the person that potentially may go there. If you share your links, which there's nothing wrong with sharing your website links on social media to drive people to your website, but when they look at that link, and it's got anything other than your domain name, there's, you're risking the potential of losing a little bit of credibility and people taking you as seriously as they should, because you haven't taken the step to legitimize your business. And that's what it looks like. It's like you haven't taken the step to go ahead and legitimize your business. Trying to fix my collar here. It's hard trying to look this good every day for you folks. Anyway, so you want to make sure that, one, you have your own domain. The domains all of my domains, I have more than a couple, but I get them all from GoDaddy. I've just used GoDaddy for years. It's just what I'm comfortable with. There's other companies out there like HostGator and other things where you can literally go and buy your domain so that you own it, you have it, and and you can use them for the hosting as well of your site. Now on GoDaddy, I think I might pay, I don't know, somewhere between $5 and $10 a month for my hosting. You can pay it out for the entire year. It might cost you $100 or something like that. It's not that expensive. You either have the monthly rate you can use, or you can just pay it outright. Now that's for the hosting. The first thing you need to do is have a domain. A domain is your www dot, whatever you call it, .com, .net, whatever. I would always suggest a .com, if at all possible. Get a .com. It's the most relevant. But a lot of people are using, like .biz, .tv. There's a lot of different things that you can do. And when you go to any of these sites that offer domain services, you're going to see the different extensions that they have on it. .com, .net, .gov, whatever. You'll see that. Don't get a .gov. So that's the first step, is to get your domain. The hosting that I'm talking about is where your website sits. So other than having a domain, you also need to have a place for your website to reside. That's the hosting. You can get all of that through any of these services that you look up or that you're comfortable with. And go ahead and set that up. Now, when you use WordPress, which, again, I only talk about things that I know. So I've used WordPress for the past 10 years on my domains, because with WordPress, you're able to have and create a very, very professional looking website with a little bit of technical skill, because they have a plethora of themes that you can use to make it look nice. Now, on your voiceover website, don't be tempted to be elaborate. Just attempt to be simple and eye-appealing. Your website only needs to be one page. I'm completely serious about that. Your website only needs to be one page. And there's a reason why I'm saying that. And by the way, while I'm doing this, if you guys have questions, go ahead and put them into chat, and I will see them, and I will be able to go ahead and answer those questions that you have. So now, where was I? You want your website to be one page. It does not need to be more than one page. Everything that you need to put on your website can go on that page. All you need is, once again, you may have at the top your logo, your company logo. You may have a picture somewhere of yourself in the particular website, but don't make that the biggest thing that's there. First of all, no one cares what you look like. It's not important to them. Actually, your logo isn't even important to them. No one is scrutinizing logos. They're scrutinizing audio. That's what they're scrutinizing. So that needs to be the thing that you pay most attention to, is the audio that you're presenting on your website. Now, that being said, after you've got your top part set up, you've selected your theme that you're going to use for your website and things of that nature. And again, it takes a little bit of technical skill. But if you're willing to put in a weekend on your website and you've never developed one before, if you're willing to put in a weekend, watch a couple of YouTube videos. As far as, YouTube is a search engine just like Google. Google is the #1 search engine in the world. YouTube is the #2 search engine in the world. And it's owned by the #1 search engine in the world. Google owns YouTube. So when you go to YouTube to find these things, and I suggest YouTube above going to a Google search, because YouTube, you're going to put in a search term, and you're going to be able to come up with the result that you want. For instance, if you're on YouTube, you can type in the search in YouTube, how to install a WordPress theme for GoDaddy, if that's your hosting company, or whatever hosting company it is. You put in the term, YouTube's going to give you the result, and you can just look at that. If you want to Google or go on YouTube and say how to customize a WordPress theme, it's going to show you that and walk you through it. Michael, the link to my website is earlhallstudio.com. That's it. As a matter of fact, if I share my screen relatively quickly with you here, I can show you. This is the website for Earl Hall Studio. And it's just, again, here's the web link right up here. It's just earlhallstudio.com. And you can see that. And how it is that I follow the principle, it's just one page. It's one page of information. One page. At the bottom, I've got, some of my clients scrolling through the bottom. So if they are interested in seeing some of that, it's not all of my clients, but it's, some of them that I've worked with. Some of them are still clients. This one from China at the bottom, that's a constant client of mine. So my website is one page. And as you see, there are no links on my website. I operate as a voiceover talent agency. So I've got a little, introductory video here that explains the service, because people that come to my website are looking for not just me, but they're looking for voice talent. So my website is going to be, and you see how super simple it is? It's WordPress. The theme that I use, which is extremely customizable, is called Optimize Press. It may be a little bit too much for most folks, because Optimize Press is really, really in depth. But there's a lot of things that I do on other websites, like with StepsToVoiceOverSuccess.com. That's a voiceover training website and marketing website. So one of the thing with that that I have with StepsToVoiceOverSuccess.com, it's a completely free website, and I'll take you there so you can just take a look at it. But StepsToVoiceOverSuccess.com is a completely free website for brand new up-and-coming voiceover artists that are looking to start, build, and grow their voiceover businesses. You can go there, you can join. It is absolutely free to join. There's tons of information there, hours of video training that is not on YouTube. So you can go there and find all that cool information and, enjoy. As they say, go ahead and enjoy. Let me go ahead and click that off as far as my window capture goes, so we can come back to me. Where's my window capture? It's right there, and let's transition me back in. Okay. Now, here's the reason that I say, as I adjust in my seat here, the reason that I say do not put external links to social media on your website, because it gives people a reason to leave. The only reason, once again, that people are coming to your website is to hear your voice. That's it. Nothing fancy needs to be there at all, other than the pertinent information. There should be only 2, at most 3 options that can happen on your website. Actually, for you, it's 2. For me, it's 3. But for a voiceover artist and you're a solopreneur, there are only 2 things that you want to have happen on your website, or options that you want to have. You don't want links. You want one page. The only thing that you want to have happen is that you get a phone call or an email. So on your website, you need to have your contact information. That is it. Your email address, your phone number, because those are the only 2 actions that you want. And it's important that you understand why that is. When you give people options, you give potential clients options, they may do something you don't want them to do. You only want to give them the option to do what you want them to do. That's it. And the only thing you want them to do is to either call you or email you. You don't want to take them off your site to Facebook. How distracted do you get on Facebook when you go? How distracted do you get when you click on a link that takes you to Twitter or Instagram or whatever social media site that is out there? It's fine, and it is suggested that on those social media platforms, you're talking about what it is that you do, and you're giving links back to your website. But you do not want to have extra links on your website to take folks off of it, because it may be detrimental to your business if you do that. So that's the reason why I say that. It's hard enough as a voiceover artist to, one, get business and to try and find out what you need to do, where you need to go, and the people you need to talk to, the sites you need to join, and all this other stuff. It's a lot that we have to do. This is not easy, being a freelancer. Being a freelancer is more than a full-time job. Your number one job that you have as a voiceover artist, and I pretty much say this on every episode that I do of In the Booth, whether it's audio or video that I'm doing, and I'm doing most of them on video now. Your number one job as a voiceover artist is to get clients. That's your number one job. Everything that you do as a voiceover artist in the marketing realm should be for that end goal, is to get a client. This includes your website. This includes your email communications, which we talked about on Monday. It includes the things that you present on your website. When you go to a website, you can tell if it's if it's well done. And it doesn't take a lot to make it well done. When you're doing this, research other voiceover artist websites, see what kind of things they're following. Are there a whole bunch of external links? What you'll notice is that the top VOs, I can call out. You go to a site like Bill DeWeese. You go to his website, and it's just BillDeWeese.com. You'll see that voiceover artists at the top of their game follow this that I'm talking about right now. It's one page with your information on it, your contact information, and that's it, along with your demo or demos. Now, here's one thing I want to say about demos, because this irritates me to know it. People will send me what they think is a demo. So let me explain to you what a demo actually is and is not. A demo is not a commercial. A demo is not a 1-minute commercial that you did for someone, or you downloaded a commercial script and you just read that 1-minute script. That's not a demo at all. That's a commercial. And no one wants to hear that. They do not. A demo is there so that you can show your range of what it is that you have the ability to do. And with that, a demo should be no longer than a minute, 60 seconds long, and it should contain about 4 to 8 different clips of commercials, promos, whatever in that. So you're taking clips, and you want to make them different. You don't want to have them sound the same. You want to show your range. You may want to do something that's kind of dramatic. You may want to do something that's upbeat, like a car salesman or something like that. And, the natural read type of thing. And, something that may be found in an explainer video, a television commercial, a radio commercial. Those are the types of things that you want, because you want to show your range. That's for your commercial demo. Now, to be even more specific than that, you can have more than one demo on your website. You can have your commercial demo, which is pretty much standard. But let's just say you specialize in explainer videos. You want to have a demo that shows your range of explainer videos. If you do e-learning, you want to have a demo that sets that up as well, so that people can see how it is that you perform in these different areas. So you can separate out and have 2, 3, 4 demos, as many as you want. A promo demo, if you're just doing promos, TV commercial demo, radio commercial demo. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you can do in regards to demos as far as that goes. So, at any rate, here's what your next step should be if you're looking to do something to change up your website. Again, go on YouTube. If you need technical information as far as how to set certain things up on your website, especially if you're using something like a WordPress, which is super simple. I mean, trying to create a website from scratch is hard. I've done it, and it's hard, and it takes a long time. When you use a WordPress theme, it just makes it so much easier, and it's, you can customize it, you can change it whenever you get ready. The wording on it's so super simple to be able to do that. So I suggest WordPress because it's probably the most popular backbone to use, and it's easily set up within your domain hosting. It's pretty much right there, but that may be something you may need to be walked through in a YouTube video. So you can look that sort of information up. The themes, there's just endless and endless themes. But again, you don't want to go super fancy. You just don't. You want it to be clean, you want it to be simple, and you want to give people a specific task to do when they're there. That's it. All right, so at this point, I'll go ahead and take some questions. If anyone has a question that they would like to ask me, and I will answer that question for you before I go off air here in just a moment. But all this being said, and by the way, the video, I'm still trying to figure out. This week is the first week that I'm doing these live streams this way with this particular setup. So I'm trying to figure out, if there's latency or lagging and all that stuff. So I'm still trying to figure out my settings. I'm not sure if it's my internet connection, if it's my computer, what. I don't know. But hopefully it'll get better as it goes on. Okay, Michael is asking me, what inspired you to get into voiceover? Radio. That was really the thing. Back in the late 90s, I did radio shows. I've done a lot of podcasts over the years. But back when I basically started doing radio, I've done internet radio out the yin yang, over the course of my time. And having to make my own commercials and things of that nature, and having to put that stuff together, it became one of those things that intrigued me. Voiceover became that thing that's like, wow, this is the creativity part of voiceover is what really gets me. When most people look at voiceover, they look at just dropping their voice, into their JW or whatever. But my thrill in voiceover is really in the editing process. Especially when I'm doing something that's complicated. Most of the things that we do pretty much aren't that complicated. But when you're talking about a jingle or a radio spot that you got to have, all that kind of stuff in it, and changing your voice here and changing your voice there and adding spice to it and sound effects and background music and jump cuts from here and there. It's that just gets me going. I think you can probably tell by my animation with this. That part of it really is joy to me. Laying down my voice and learning how to do voiceover appropriately and learning, voice cadence, and the acting part of it is extremely interesting to me as well. And I don't think that people give enough credence or credit or the proper amount of respect that it takes to be a voiceover artist or a voice actor, because that is literally what it is. There's a mindset that I go in that a lot of professional voiceovers go into when they're reading a script. It's not just about sitting down, pulling up the Word document, and getting in front of the mic and reading. There's a zone you go in because you're an actor at that point. You're not just reading a script. That's why there's ways of doing voiceover. There are acting methods that are great to learn, which you can look up on YouTube, as a matter of fact. I've gone through voiceover coaching in regards to how to deliver a script, how to interpret a script. I mean, it gets down as serious as a word. The inflection that you put on a word is so extremely important. So it gets deep, it goes deep. There's a difference between just someone that's reading a script and someone that is an actor. When someone is an actor, you don't even know the script is there because they've made it their own. And that's what sells a lot of the stuff. Mike saying, I'm excited to get into it. I have almost everything I need. I just need to get my DAW down. Um, yeah, that's probably the hardest thing is using your DAW, whatever software you're using, understanding and learning that. Stay on YouTube. Stay on YouTube. As far as whatever DAW you're using, watch as many videos as you can on the subject. The key things that you need to understand about your DAW or the software that you use to record with is, first of all, the microphone that you have is extremely important with that. The inputs that you have as far as how you deliver your voice into your computer system. USB is not suggested. XLR, I was trying to see if I could pull the XLR cable out, but I don't want to pull something and then pull my computer apart. But anyway, you want an XLR connection, so that means you need an interface, something like a Focusrite Solo. Where's mine? Okay, this is a Focusrite Solo. It's basically the interface. This is a XLR connection. If you can see that, the 3-prong connection, and that's where your microphone plugs in. You want to use one of these or something like this. It's just an interface, and that is USB that goes into your computer, but your microphone plugs into that. And then after that being said, basically the settings that you have on certain things like compression, you need to understand compression. You need to understand limiting. You need to understand EQ. You need to understand normalization. All of these things are easily found out about on YouTube. I mean, it's there. There's literally no excuse to not knowing how to sound better or make your mic sound better. The only tip that I will give on processing your voice is that less is more. You don't want to overprocess. You can tell that. People can tell that. You want a natural sound. But again, all of this, there's no quick method to get this down. You've got to study it. You've got to learn it. And once you get good at it, and the only way to get good at it is to do it every day. So you go to YouTube, you watch some videos, and you go from there. Yeah, the CAD E100S, I believe that is USB. By the way, any mic, if you've spent about $100 on your mic, you're cool. You're fine. You may never need another microphone other than that. About $100 is pretty much what you need to get going and get started. You may want to get fancy later. This mic that I have, this one cost me about I'm sorry for tapping the mic there on you guys. This mic cost about $700, I think. And I actually just got this mic a couple of weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, and it's a Audio-Technica 4037 shotgun mic. And I do work on this. And then also I have a Neumann TLM 103. I forgot the name. Neumann TLM 103 is the other mic that I have. The Neumann TLM 103 is an industry standard in the biz. So, and that's going to run you about $1,000 on that if you get that. But it's not necessary today. I've been doing this a while, so I continue to upgrade so that I can get better and better at what it is that I do. So that's the thing. Are you getting better, or not? So that's it. Any other questions from any folks that are tuned in today? I want to thank everybody for coming in. I'm going to hop over to Facebook. I'm not sure. I can't monitor Facebook comments here. I have to actually be on Facebook to see the comments. Did I just crack my knuckles in the mic? I think I did. But okay, so but if you have any questions, go ahead and ask them while I'm going over to Facebook to see if there's any questions or comments that are over there, to make sure that I don't ignore anyone that is over here on Facebook. Hey, Facebook, now I'm over here. I can see myself on Facebook with that. So, but at any rate, if there are no other questions, I'm going to go ahead and end this broadcast. Tomorrow on Thursdays, I do not do live stream here because at 10 a.m. I do a live stream for my private group, Voiceover Fast Track. All we do in Voiceover Fast Track is talk about getting business. We talk about marketing. It's the focus, and we go deep in on marketing and the things that you need to do right now, today, in order to start getting business. It's not for the newbie. I can say that. Voiceover Fast Track is not for the newbie. It's for someone you have been getting business, but you're looking to get more. So you have a good understanding of your DAW, your microphone, how to do voiceover. You've got all those kind of key concepts down. And voiceover fast track is basically to help you get business. So now, with that being said, if you want to join voiceover fast track, you can get there by going to steps2voiceoversuccess.com. That's the web address, steps2voiceoversuccess.com. You can put a slash VOFT. Or you can just go to the site and you'll see the link for VoiceOver Fast Track. Just click on it and you can see I give 30 days for free because I believe that you should be able to see if it's something that's going to work for you before you actually pay to be a member of the group. So if you want 30 days free, I'm offering it to you. You can go ahead and get into VoiceOver Fast Track and start learning the concepts immediately of what it's going to take to get business, because it's one of the things that I know voiceover artists struggle with. Where do I go? How do I get clients? What do I need to do? So basically within my 10 years of experience doing this and getting clients and all that kind of stuff. So we share that information. It's really more of a mastermind group, in my opinion, because we're sharing concepts with each other. Even though I'm leading this, the folks that are there, they're taking my concepts that I have and they're tweaking them and they're adding to them and they're saying, hey, what about this? And, hey, we should, this worked for me. So you're able to interact with other voiceover artists that are doing it, that are having the success. It's not just me talking about it. You get to hear other voiceover artists from across the globe that are talking about what they're doing in order to gain business. And we're talking about through email marketing, freelance sites. I'm not a big fan of the pay-to-play sites, but some people are. So it's wherever you're getting your work from, continue to get that work. All right, guys, I want to thank you so much for doing this. But as again, I won't be here tomorrow. I will be here on Friday. And so every week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, I will be right here on whatever platform you are watching me on, whether it be Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, or Periscope. Wherever you're watching me, I will be right here, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, to help you with your voiceover concerns, your voiceover questions, and I will always be coming with something. On Friday, what it is that I'm going to be talking about on Friday is what I'm looking at as more of a, should I call it an inspiration type session? Because we're going to be talking about on Friday, excuse me, no more excuses. It's no more excuses time. You got to build your business. There's no more excuses. Wash them out the window. Kill your excuses. Suffocate them. Drown them. Whatever. Get over it. We're going to be going deep in on that. I'm going to be going deep in on that. And we'll be able to have that discussion. All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning into this edition of In the Booth with Earl Hall. If you have not subscribed to the channel, especially on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, you've subscribed to me on Facebook. Subscribe if you're watching me on Twitch. If you're watching me on Periscope, go ahead and subscribe to that. Periscope is Twitter. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. And I'm saying subscribe, and particularly on YouTube. Everyone that can subscribe to YouTube, I think it's a better experience. And I would just ask that you subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is just youtube.com/Earl Hall Studio. That's it. youtube.com/Earl Hall Studio. Click the link to subscribe. Tick the bell after you subscribe so that you get instantly notified when I go live or when I upload a video. You guys have a great Wednesday. I will see you on Friday. You take care.